The trucker's final journey. Pedro was a seasoned trucker known for his skepticism towards the supernatural. When he was offered the job of driving a rebuilt bus that had been in a tragic accident where all the passengers died, he accepted without hesitation. The stories of the bus being cursed did not intimidate him. He did not believe in ghosts or curses. The accident had been brutal. The bus veered off the road on a dangerous curve and plunged down a ravine, instantly killing everyone on board. On his first night driving the bus, Pedro navigated the lonely highways with his usual confidence. However, an unsettling cold began to seep into the cab. Despite the warm weather, Pedro felt a chill run down his spine. He tried to ignore it, but the sensation grew stronger with each passing mile. As the night deepened, the darkness outside seemed to press in on the windows, making the interior of the bus feel claustrophobic. The faint smell of burning rubber filled the air, mixing with an inexplicable odor of decay. Pedro glanced in the rearview mirror and saw nothing but the empty seats behind him. Yet the hairs on the back of his neck stood on end as if he were being watched. When he reached the last stop and let the passengers off, he glanced back to ensure no one was left behind. His heart skipped a beat as his eyes met the impossible. The passengers he had just dropped off were sitting in their seats again. But these were not the same people. Their faces were pale, eyes empty and hollow like dark pits. Pedro felt his heart stop for a moment, a wave of pure terror washing over him. The bus was filled with an eerie silence, broken only by the sound of his own ragged breathing. The air grew heavy, almost suffocating. Pedro tried to scream, but his voice caught in his throat. The dread and panic overwhelmed him as the dead passengers' empty eyes seemed to bore into his soul. Desperate to escape, Pedro stumbled out of the bus, feeling as if his heart were about to explode with fear. He ran through the deserted streets, his mind racing and his body trembling uncontrollably. When he finally reached the station, he collapsed into the arms of his colleague, Julio, who took one look at Pedro's terrified expression and knew what had happened. Julio, with eyes wide in fear, whispered, "You saw the dead passengers on the bus, didn't you?" Pedro, unable to speak, simply nodded, his face as white as a sheet, his eyes wide with unspoken horror. The memory of those empty, lifeless eyes would haunt him forever, a shadow that would never leave his mind. Pedro never drove the bus again. The cursed vehicle was abandoned, feared by everyone who knew its dark history, and the legend of the haunted bus driver who saw the dead passengers lived on, a chilling reminder of the night when the line between the living and the dead was crossed. Don't forget to follow the channel, give it a like, and leave your comments. Stay tuned for more spine-chilling stories. Thank you.